In this session we'll be exploring more racket play, obviously this time in our intermediate stances and with a few more trick shots to have fun with. So starting off in single leg stance is usually the best place to start, and if you haven't already done this in single leg, if you haven't gone back to the beginners and tried it in these stances, then just get used to the basic bounce on the racket in front of you like this, or even if you have already, it's a good way to warm up. Just get in the zone with some bounce action here, and then swap sides. One fun thing you can try and do is to swap sides without actually stepping off. So an easier way to do that might be to actually put one foot behind, I say as I mess it up. But as always, very normal to have some errors, and if you can't swap without stepping off, that's completely fine, but always worth giving a go. So I just did a little hop swap there, swapped my foot and my hand, but you could go for a slower one where you sort of inch the other foot off. I actually find that harder than the hop swap, but see what you're able to do. Okay, so still in single leg. What we had done in the past is a paddle flip or a racket flip. That's good fun. Now we can start to go for an under the leg, like so. Just one, regain your bounce or regain your stability, or you can sort of go for multiple in a row, or even how many bounces can you do while you're under the leg. Again, if you fall off, straight back on. If you can even manage to sort of bounce it back up to yourself, even better. We'll swap sides. We'll have another go on the other side. It's important for me to demo this because one side is always going to be harder than the other, and it may feel impossible. I know it did for me originally, but over time you may not get, completely equal to your dominant side, but you will get better. And it's really important not to neglect one side just because it's harder. Under the leg, how many bounces? So we'll change to our stance now to tandem. It's going to make it a little harder because we don't have this leg to stabilize, but it's always good to practice that. Obviously if the leg comes off and stabilizes, that's fine, but just try and get it straight back in. And then from here you could do an under the leg and put it straight back into tandem. That's good fun. You could try and do under the front leg as well, straight back to tandem. Save yourself, come back. Or you could try and go for around the back. That's something you can do in single leg too, obviously, but it's good fun in tandem. Much easier with about this size racket or paddle. It can get a bit cumbersome with a tennis racket, and obviously you're relying on a bit of shoulder mobility there. So if that's out of your reach at the moment, don't worry about it. I'll just demo on the other side too. In tandem, I'll swap my feet too. So see that? Messed it up, bounced it back, kept going. It's kind of what you're aiming for, but obviously don't stress if you have to reset. Then obviously you can go for some squatting down and back up. You can just remember to just regularly swap feet and hands. You can go for a down, up, under the leg, down. Same thing. So you're playing with your levels there. So pretty much all the same things can be done in fencing stance, very similar, or ninja stance. I'll quickly demo those. So you could be just in normal stance, you could be down in a squat, you could do around the back, you could do under the leg, you could try and go around the back while you're squatting, which is extra challenging. But really it's about playing and exploring with your limits. And don't worry if you just have to be in this position. Just getting used to that is an achievement in itself. And obviously there's the heel ninja or the arch ninja that you can try with this too. So again, plenty to keep you busy there. Play for a few more minutes if you've got the energy, the time and the patience. Otherwise, come back to this when you're fresh. Remember, it's all a game, have fun, and we'll see you in the next session.